Hello, beautifuls. Thank you for tuning in today. I am going to talk today about attachment. I like to talk about things that can help us enrich our experience. And I was actually contemplating how to talk about attachment because it is the cause of suffering for a lot of people. And I was struggling with the idea because it's a really big subject, and I just like to take a few minutes. And one of my girlfriends brought it up the other day. She's like, you really need to do a video on attachment. So here I am, here we are, and we'll get as much done as we can today, and maybe there'll be a part 2. But essentially, what is attachment? So the definition of attachment is a source and a means for keeping, how does it go? A source and a means for keeping an active process alive. What does that mean in our daily life? Well, that means that we have found something that we assume brings us comfort or happiness. We desire it in some way and we cling to it. So there are all sorts of attachments. There are external attachments, people, places, things, even actions we can be attached to, rituals and so forth. And then there are the internal, to our thoughts and our beliefs. And if we are clinging to something that we feel brings us happiness, well, how is that cause for suffering? Well, let's take a look at the internal. When we're clinging to a belief or an idea that brings us happiness, or we think brings us happiness, sometimes it doesn't even bring us happiness. It just brings us comfort. It's something we have known for so long that it's comfortable. Yet, if we're always looking at something from that belief system, our perspective is warped. It's narrowed. We can't see past what we've already established in our mind. And you can see how that would probably limit many of your life experiences. Same with the external. When we try to cling to something on the exterior of us, it's going to cause us a lot of grief because nothing stays the same. Everything's in movement, everything's transitory, and the harder we try to hold on and to control, we're using more and more of our life force energy to hold on to that instead of experiencing and enjoying life. So you can see how this might cause a problem and interrupt choices and paths that we could take because we're so focused on what we think in that moment is our absolute happiness. So to detach from that does not mean that we don't care or we're indifferent or we just drop it, but rather to be able to detach means that we've understood that to cling to something is a source of grief and a source of pain, especially when we lose it. And it's that place where we understand that we can have something, we can value it, and yet it doesn't define us. We don't have to control it. We don't have to hold on so tight. And we can still enjoy that experience. And when it leaves, we can still be solid in ourselves. So tomorrow, I will talk a little bit more about detachment and what are some of the things we can do to help us practice detachment in our life journey. So until we talk again, please stay safe, nourished, hydrated, and well rested.